27th chapter. Ooh, we have had one more little piece of a voice. Matthew, the 27th chapter. Now, that's the first book in the New Testament scripture. All right. Chapter number 27.
All right. Amen.
My God, I feel good tonight. All right. All right. Close, I can't see them. All right, let me try this. When, this come on?
Yeah, turn it.
All right. Matthew, the 27th chapter, verse 1 says, when the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pilate, to Pontius Pilate, the governor. And then Judas, thank you, which you read. I can't see.
When he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, who is that to us?
What is that? What is that?
What is that to us? I can't see you. See thou to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed, and went and hanged himself. And the chief priests took the silver pieces and said, it is not lawful for to put them into the treasury, because it is the price of blood. And they took counsel and brought with them the potter's field, and bought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you. I got this small writing Bible that's underlined, and I got some stay on context here. I can read, I promise you that. From these verses tonight, though, I just want to talk about religion gone wild. Religion gone wild. That first phrase we heard come out in around 97. A man by the name of Joe Francis found some young, innocent young women that were willing for a few dollars to show you stuff that they didn't used to show us on Brady Bunch. Y'all understand? Yeah. For a few dollars and some fame, they were willing to conduct themselves in a manner that would have brought shame to their parents, to their community, and certainly to their church and their upbringing. But some way, somehow, I found out that most of us got a price for everything. Y'all understand? And he found that this really sold. And they didn't just put it on television, they just showed some little clips of it. You understand? And they would advertise it late at night and tell you what number to dial if you wanted to see the real thing. You understand? And they call it Girls Gone Wild. And you just got to know that when girls go wild, y'all ain't got to say nothing. They do something to boys. Wanted to talk tonight about religion gone wild. If I used to point out now that religion and Christianity is not the same thing. but that Christianity is a form or type of religion. Religion is a practice or a devout worship of something or a stringent or strict way of doing something. Y'all understand? So sometimes you might say, oh, she's very religious. And I'm not really sure what you're saying. That's such a blanket statement. But I've heard folks say, she washes that car religiously. And what that is saying is no matter what's going on Saturday morning, she's going to be out there washing. It's just religiously. Now, when Jesus the Christ, who we have verified and confirmed to be the Son of God and the only begotten of the Father, came down for the express purpose of fulfilling what was known as Jewish religion. And it was to the extent prior to him coming, where they worshiped God, a God that they didn't know, mind you. And they kept certain laws and rules and regulations. Some of us still cling to some of those same laws and rules and regulations. You understand? We got pictures of the 10 Commandments in our church and in our home, and we thinking that long as I abide by the 10 Commandments, I'm all right. There's a problem with that. Without Jesus, you can't abide by none of the commandments. The 10 Commandments, which was a form of religion, never had a provision that would allow you to go to heaven. Amen, somebody. It never had any connection whatsoever to heaven. It was a contract or a covenant that God had with a set of chosen people. So when Jesus came, he said, I didn't come to destroy the law nor the prophets, but I came that they might be fulfilled. Otherwise, he came to show them religion in its purest form. Not just show them religion in its purest form, but he took it to another level. You understand that? See, religion said that if a wayfaring, traveling journeyman was to come through town, the civil servants were required to carry his bags for 1 mile. But Jesus said, shucks, if they compare you to go 1 mile with them, I say you ought to go 2. You understand? Jesus was going beyond what the law required. He said, it has been said of old, eye for eye and tooth for tooth, but I say, pray for food. And despitefully use you. Pray for your enemies. Jesus came with demonstration to bring about the element that was lacking in religion. Religion is good in its place. You understand it entails discipline, something that is needed in most everything that we do. But discipline in itself sometimes is not enough. You understand that? When you go on a diet, that's discipline. And sometimes the discipline works better than other times. Y'all ain't saying that. I can try real hard, but don't keep waving the lemon meringue pie in front of me. Religion is simply discipline. And sometimes discipline in and of itself is not enough. So Jesus came in love. And love is the element that religion lacked prior to the coming of Jesus, but that would allow you to be able to carry out disciples. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples. By your love one for another. And I promise you now, some of us believers, some of us Christians need identification tags. You understand that we don't catch you in church on your Sunday the same. Or on your Sunday to pray. We really wouldn't have no way to know that you are a believer. I don't understand how some of us can name the name of Christ and still in the same shape tonight that we were 20 years ago. Still got the same testimony. Still singing the same song and praying the same prayer. You ought to be seeking a closer walk with God. In our text, the book said that Jesus, who had gone around doing good to all men, the account said that he hadn't done nobody wrong. And he had healed the sick and raised the dead. Yeah, he had cleansed lepers and gave sight to the blind. And yet the more good he did, the more evil-hearted the religious leaders became. See, they could talk about healing, but they couldn't heal nobody. Y'all understand that? They could talk about deliverance, but they couldn't set nobody free. But Jesus said, he hath anointed me to set at liberty the captives. Now, these evil-hearted religious folks. And I guess in order to paint a picture for you, Jesus told the disciples one time that the Pharisees and the scribes sit in Moses' seat. In other words, if you all regarded Moses as a leader, the scribe and the Pharisees is the best thing we have now for leaders. And Jesus was saying, I know they are flawed. I know they're imperfect. I know they don't have perfect hearts, but this is what it is. Some of us must recognize that what we have is what we have. You understand that? You join whatever church you join, whatever the pastor's name, when you join that, that's the pastor. You understand? Whoever wants the first lady, that's the first lady. And nothing should move according to how you want it, but it ought to go the way the Lord wants it. And if you got a problem with something in the church, first thing is go to God, because the devil has a way of making you see things the way they not really are. He has a way of distorting things. He has a way of making little things into big. I was pastor, my trumpet pastor, my first church. I found that there were some very good people there. And if you went to any of them's home or visited at the hospital or saw them in the grocery store or saw them anywhere along the street, they were the nicest people you ever wanted to meet. But don't mess around and have conference up in this week. Y'all understand? They could argue about how many ice cubes they put in my water. It just didn't matter. Just whatever. about religion going wild tonight. I'm trying to show you why God can't move. If we don't learn where our mistakes is and where the breakdown is, we can't ever be corrected. So all it takes is for somebody else to say something in a meeting. You ain't even ever thought about it. And as soon as they mention it, you jump up to, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, let me get to my text. The Bible said that when the religious leaders had had enough, they had put up with Jesus, putting them to shame. You understand? Performing miracles that they were not able to perform. And then ultimately, he raised Lazarus from the dead. And the religious leaders said, we got to put a stop to him. Because if we don't put him to death, you understand, the whole world is going to be following after him. And the Bible said that these religious people had a big religious holiday coming up. You understand, the Passover. So they decided we're not going to kill him until after the Passover. Some way, somehow, the devil entered into the heart of Judas. And Judas went to them and said, I'll make a deal with you. And asked them, what will you give me if I turn him over to you? And because they cut a deal so quick, they decided to go ahead and kill him before the Passover. But you listen to what I said. These are religious people who are so religious till we're going to kill the Son of God. But we can't do it on a holy day. We're going to kill an innocent man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But, shoot, I'm trying to mess. But we can't do it on the Lord's day. I'm just talking about religion going wild. So, when Judas gave him over, the book said that Judas gave him a signal. And said, the one that I kiss, I want you to hold him fast. And you know what Judas was saying? Y'all tried to arrest him before. And he got away from you every time. So this time you gotta hold him. But what Judas didn't know is that if it had not been in the will of God, they wouldn't have been able to hold him. The reason they couldn't hold him the first time, the work wasn't finished. But the Bible said Judas gave him the signal. The one that I kiss. When you get him, you can't play around. You better hold him. And the Bible said they arrested Jesus with a mob crowd. Came with lamps and torches and lanterns. Came and took Jesus and arrested him. And the book said it was late in the evening. There was a procedure, legal procedures that they had to go through in order to put somebody to death. And since the Jews were under Roman control, the Roman government reserved the authority to offer capital punishment. You understand? The Jews in in their religion. They could punish people, but they couldn't condemn nobody to death. So the book said they went through their preliminaries. They took Jesus when they arrested him and carried him to Annas' house. Now Annas, let me tell you about him. He was the former high priest. But to the Jews, the high priest was the high priest until he died. But the Romans had taken him down and appointed his son-in-law Caiaphas. So they first hauled him to Annas. And they gave him a mock trial and found him guilty of blasphemy. And when they left Annas' house, they carried him to Caiaphas' house. And when they got to Caiaphas' house, again, he rubber stamped it and said guilty of blasphemy. And Annas and Caiaphas gave them counsel on how to convince the Roman government to put Jesus to death. So when they left Caiaphas' house, you're going to preach today, they marched it from judgment hall to judgment hall. I'm just giving you the halls. When they left Caiaphas' house, the book says they took him before the full-fledged Sanhedrin council. And when he got before the council determined that if you send him to the governor, you can't just talk about no blasphemy, because he just going to tell us to whoop him and let him go. So we got to try it from another angle. You better tell the governor that this man Jesus said that he is a king.
Oh, yeah.
Now we done went from blasphemy, which was just a religious law, to treason, which was a law against the Roman government. So when they took him to Pilate, who was the Roman appointed governor, the book said Pilate was a mean man who did not care for the Jews. He didn't like none of them. And they thought because Pilate would just rubber stamp their mess, they figured he would not spare Jesus. See, they didn't like him and he didn't like them. Because the book said Pilate had raided the temple treasury and built an aqueduct. And some of them protested and he called armies to kill them. Pilate didn't care for Jews and Jews didn't care for Pilate, but they needed Pilate to put Jesus to death. The Bible says that when he went before Pilate, and Pilate started to question him, Jesus didn't say a word to him. Hallelujah. Somebody told Pilate that Jesus was from Galilee. And Pilate was glad to hear that, because that wasn't his jurisdiction. Instead of having to make the fatal decision, he sent him to Herod's judgment hall. And Herod was glad to see him, because Herod wanted to see him perform a miracle. But Jesus did perform a miracle, and Herod didn't make a decision. But Herod sent him back to Pilate's judgment hall. And all Pilate said was, what wrong has he done? innocent man. In our text tonight, the book says, when they were taking Jesus away, and Judas, the one who betrayed him, saw how they treated Jesus. When he saw that he was condemned, Judas became sorrowful in his heart. And I want to tell you tonight, Ebenezer, sometimes once you have done something, when you get the wheels in motion, some stuff you can't take back. Some stuff, I'm sorry, won't fix. Some stuff you got to live with the consequences. Judas came and said, I changed my mind. And I want you to know who Judas was talking to. He was talking to the priests, the religious leaders, whose job was to accept sacrifices and pray for the sins of the people. Did you hear what I said? These religious leaders, these priests, their job was to help reconcile man to God. Their job was, when somebody was godly sorry, to help them go before the Father. That was their job. And when Judas came and said, I changed my mind, these religious leaders said, what do we have to do with that? Their job, I said, was to restore folk who had fallen. Their job was to offer sacrifices for sin. Judas changed his mind, came and brought back the mind, and said, I changed, I messed up with them. I made a bad deal. I want to take it back. Y'all let him go now. And then he said, what is that to us? You see to it. Pray for your own. Fix it your own. And the book said he threw the money down. And he ran and hanged himself. And these religious people were so religious till they said it's not lawful. We don't want no dirty money. We don't want no money that came from bloodshed. The religious folk paid him the money to turn over Jesus. And when he realized he had messed up and tried to bring back the money and go back on the deal, the religious folk said, what do we have to do with that? Well, that's enough about Jerusalem. I'm coming out of Jerusalem now, and I'm coming to Pensacola. Religion has really gone wild. Y'all ain't saying nothing about it. Those religious leaders who should have been bringing somebody to Christ did everything but that. Who should have been restoring folk did everything but that. What about you and I? What are we doing tonight? The Lord has called us to love one another. The Lord has called us She took my pot home and never brought it back. Ain't nobody took it but that helper. She done got my pot. I'm talking about religion going wild. The devil got you mad over nothing. Some of us been mad so long, we done forgot what we mad about. God won't move. Religion gone wild. Just resort to some stuff we done practice. Everything we come to, we can't shut. Look to God from where our help comes from. When we come in this house, we ought to come with uplifted hearts and uplifted hands. We ought to be real when we come in this place. If somebody's in trouble, we ought to be praying for them. We ought to be coming together. Get my boy out first, then get your boy. I'll get your girl out first, and then get my girl. But we ought to be working together, not having to hide from one another. When Peter went to jail, I'm glad it was over 2,000 years ago. I'm glad it wasn't this year. I'm glad it wasn't in Pensacola. Because when it hit the news channel, when they saw Peter in jail view, somebody was going to say, I told you it wasn't nothing to it. You should have got somewhere and sat down. But the Bible said the church had prayer meetings. Sister Mary's house, they got down on their knees and started calling for the power. There's power in Jesus Christ. They started calling for the power of God. And the book said, while Peter was asleep in jail, the angel came down from glory